This is Boston Sunshine from Fox News Channel 8.
The eruption began in May 1883 when seismic activity started. It was intense. The earthquake could be felt in other countries.
The stream began to pour out of vents and eruptions of ash that reached as high as 20,000 feet.
The explosions could be heard 100 miles away, but the activity stopped a few weeks later.
The eruption started again on June 16th. Really loud explosions could be heard, and a thick black cloud was covering the island for 5 days.
A week later, 2 ash columns could be seen from Krakatoa, and eventually 11 other events could also be seen.
There was 2 feet of thick ash on the ground, and there was also no plants or no trees. All there was tree stumps.
There were earthquake shocks and large pumice rocks reported in the Indian Ocean.
Okay. Now let's go to Ike and Ocean at the scene of the volcano.
Thank you, boss, and the great sunshine.
Breaking news! A volcano known as Krakatoa recently erupted.
On August 25th, eruptions became very scary, and black clouds of ash, 17 feet high, were seen in the air.
The eruptions continued, and explosions could be heard about every 10 minutes.
There were heavy ash and large pumice rocks falling from the sky, and a small tsunami hit 25 miles away from Krakatoa.
About 2 days later, 4 large explosions were so loud we heard them 2,200 miles away. We thought they were cannon fire. There were very large tsunamis that went over 100 feet high.
A pyroclastic flow is like an ice avalanche, but with rocks, and it was seen shooting up Krakatoa.
The energy released from the explosions were 4 times more powerful than the most powerful nuclear weapon ever developed.
The final pressure wave traveled at 675 miles per hour, and it caused the eardrums of sailors to burst.
People claim the ash was propelled 50 miles into the air. We've counted around 1,000 people were killed by the rain of hot ash in the surrounding towns 25 miles away.
A large pyroclastic flow based out of the volcano and traveled across the ocean for 25 miles. The citizens were destroyed and homes had ash and rock in it.
There were no survivors in the islands around Krakatoa 8 miles away, which is about 3,000 people, and the official death toll from all effects pyroclastic flow, falling ash, and tsunamis were exactly 36,417 deaths. But probably more like 120,000.
There were no survivors because Krakatoa's big eruption killed everything in its path.
Skeletons were floating across the ocean on rafts of pumice and the coast of Africa up to a year after the eruption.
August 28th, Krakatoa was all silent.
Back to you, Boston Great Sunshine!
Wow, that must have been a very serious, scary experience for the people there. Now on to Sutton and Ab's World News.
Thank you to Boston Sunshine. I'm Sutton Young from World News, coming to you live from New York with my partner Abigail Macchio, reporting you this volcano in late August of 1883 on the island of Krakatoa.
Small eruptions of mainland mud continued until October. Pressure waves across the globe continued for 5 days after the explosion. Shockwaves from traveled the globe 7 times. Some towns were never relocated and instead were removed to a jungle. Ships as far away as South America were rocked by tsunamis caused by a giant kaleidoscopic flow entering the ocean, destroying by a nearby town in another country, 150 feet high.
Surrounding the ocean floor was very different rock, was deposited over 420,000 square miles. Land masses were increased but quickly reverted away. The islands are still containing a lot of volcanic ash. It was so explosive because under Krakatoa there was a ripstone. Large cracks in the crust, deep hot rock in the crust melt due to the world's largest tectonic plate collision where the Indo-Australian plate is being shoved under the Eurasian plant.
As the Eurasian plant is pushed deeper, it is backed by the heat from the mantle and along with a 4-mile wide supervolcano.
Oh.
Krakatoa is growing as we speak, and it's advancing for how life can recover from inhabitation. Spiders first came back to Krakatoa and added nutrients for the poor volcano soil, where eventually plants were able to grow from one scientific experiment from period between 1883 and 1927, but islands began to regrow. Pushed in early 2008, yet by April the eruption had resumed again. It is likely that the two craters will eventually merge from active continuum. In 2002, Krakatoa entered the rest phase with only supported discharges of gas. Also, the October 23rd, 2007, great eruptions plumaged with observed rising from the vent to the SW of the central crater of Krakatoa.
Eruptions occurred every 34 years and typically lasted for about 6 months during the period from 1965 to 1988, building the new cone to a height of nearly 159 m. And Krakatoa was particularly active in November of 1992, with the two lava flows, one of which reached the sea. Explosions continued and further lava flows in 1993. Several tourists were injured and one killed on the old crater rim by volcanic bomb impact. By this time, the new cone had reached a height of nearly 300 m. These marked the beginning of a new phase of activity which caused strong eruptions. Activity paused in early 2008, yet in April, the eruption had resumed again. It is likely that the two craters will eventually merge when activity continues. Now back to the Boston Sunshine. Yeah,
Thank you, this is Abby and Sutton. Welcome to the Boston Sunshine.
First.
It must have been a really dangerous and scary experience. We'll make sure to keep you updated. Now on to Blue with the weather.
Violence of eruption caused extremely high tides, caused tidal waves to travel the globe several times, and is still detected 5 days later. The average globe temperature fell by 2.2 degrees Fahrenheit. Weather patterns were crazy for years. The temperature did not return to normal until 1888. The eruption threw a large amount of sulfur dioxide gas high into the atmosphere, which was picked up by winds and circled the planet. Clouds had huge caused a huge increases in sulfurous acid, which resulted in rare reflecting more light from the sun and cooling the planet. The eighth invincible eventually fell to the ground. The acid rain, the eruption darkened the sky around the world. 4 years, producing amazing sunsets for months. The amazing sky display was called the eruption smoke steam and was discovered of jet steam. Jet steam is a very strong band of air currents that circled the planet. The eruption produced a bishop's ring, which is brown and blue, hollow around the sun by day, and volcanoes purple light at sunset.
I'm surprised when there were thick black clouds, but they didn't know there was going to be an eruption.
Now here's Daisy with a very sad experience.
Much better.
Thank you, Boss and Great Sunshine, for that wonderful message. Now, we have with us today one of the survivors from Krakatoa, Daisy. She's going to tell us her story. Now, Daisy, well, tell us your story.
I heard a noise and noticed Krakatoa was no longer visible. The sun was blood red and toothpick had been falling for hours. The sea has gone far away, her reefs dried out. There was a loud noise and a scary one. My head stood on end and I gathered my family close to me. We reached the house and washed away. We left at 8:30 p.m. and we sunk into mud to our knees. My throat was dry out and had leeches crawling on my neck. Everyone we saw was covered in ash and puke. There was 30,000 people laying around our hut. Our journey took 5 hours and everything was on fire, and I couldn't see anything in front of me. Dash came in through the floorboards like a fountain. Hunter wanted to kill us ourselves, but he couldn't find the knife. It was very, very hard to breathe, and big lumps of rocks kept hitting me. I didn't realize how I'd been burnt so badly, and I didn't feel very good. Around our house was 1,000 dead, burnt people. There was a complete darkness, and we couldn't light a fire. It began to be dangerous for us. We started to leave again. It was raining mud. Our youngest son died from the ash and mud. A lot of animals and humans died from Krakatoa, and we saw them floating on rocks in the ocean where the villages were destroyed. This guy came running up and said that there was a man on a boat here to save us after a few hours.
We're at a new area in front of our wonderful studio, but we're back because we had a few technical difficulties. So, finish your story, Daisy.
After a few hours, the rock moved out of the way and the boat came to shore. Our skin was not really there, and I didn't realize how long we had been there. We were very hungry and thirsty, but alive.
Wow, crazy story. And remember, this is Noble Fox 8, and we'll make sure to keep you updated.
Go.
Thank you, the bot.
Thank you, the bot.
Yeah.
Boss. I'm not supposed to say that.
No survivors because Krakatoa's big eruption killed everything in its path.
Thank you, Boss and Great Sunshine, for that wonderful message. We have here Daisy, who's going to share us our story on Krakatoa, because she was one of the very few survivors. Let's hear the story,
Isn't Daisy hot? Just saying. I was just saying.
Thank you, and then that's it. Yeah. Hunter, I think we have an idea. Hunter, we have an idea.
There were very large tsunamis that hit over 100 feet high.
It popped.
Put it down.
Cut.
No, go. Okay, go.
Alright, thank you, the boss and Sunshine. I'm Sutton Young from Royal News with Becoming You Live with my partner Abigail Makia, reporting you this volcano in late August of 1883 on the island of Krakatoa.
Energy released from the explosions were 4 times more powerful than the most powerful nuclear weapon ever developed.
And it caused the eardrums of settlers to burst. That's a lot.
Oh, thank you.
Let's see, pretend drink.
Deleted teeth.
Isaac, go stand over there for now.
There were.
This is from two.
Yeah, they're going.
Thank you, the bot. We have a streaker here today.
Sorry for the interruption. We will continue in 1 minute. Now we are back with Boston Sunshine, Sutton Young reporting live, and Abby Lamacchio.
Thank you, Boston Sunshine. I'm Sutton Young from World News, coming to you live from New York with my partner Abigail Makia.
No, we start from there. No.
So do I start right?
Yes.
Volcano violence.
Surrounding the ocean floor was very different. Rock was deposited over 420,000 square miles. Land masses were increased, but hey, quickly.
Don't use it covering.
It is. Now it is.
All silent.
Back to you, Boston Sun and Great Sunshine.
The Great Sunshine.
This is Boston Sunshine from Fox Channel 8.
The eruption began in May 1883 when seismic activity, it was intense. It was intense.
Hi.
Are you filming?
Thank you, Carolina.
Hold on. Now you gotta wait for Hunter to get ready.
Thank you, Boston Sunshine, for this message.
Breaking news: a volcano known as Krakatoa recently erupted.
It was so explosive because under Krakatoa there is a rift zone. Large cracks in the crust, deep hot rock, and the crust melt due. She burned.
No, I made a noise in the cup with my mouth.
You're still recording.
Mud to our knees. My throat was dried out, and I had leeches growing on my neck. Everyone we saw.
Boomer!
August of 1883 on the island of Krakatoa.
Small eruptions of mainly mud continued until October. Pressure waves across the globe continued for 5 days after the explosion. Shock waves from the explosion traveled the globe 7 times. Caused by the Great
Dude.
Red light's on means it's recording. Press it again.
Thank you, boss and great sunshine, for that wonderful message. Now, I'm here with Daisy.
Okay, let's go.
Thank you, the boss and sunshine. I'm Sutton Young from World News. They heard you.
Have we even gotten past the first line?
Yes, we have, but then Sutton kept looking at me.
You are recording right now.
Oh, my bad.
Maybe we should just say we're the laughers.
Go.
So I'll go film them and they're going to go like that.
Okay, whatever.
Hey guys, how are you doing? Okay.
Messed with the barber thing and stop recording.
Thank you, boss and great sunshine, for that wonderful message. Now, we have here today Daisy. She was one of the... Hey, Cam! Hello, boss and great sunshine. We have... Tell me one. Delete scene!
Patrick's good.
Now, how do I work this thing?
And you'll see a red dot. That means you're recording. Press.
Thank you, the boss and sunshine. I'm Sutton Young from World News, coming to you live from New York.
No, cut it. You have to go.
Now on to Daisy with a very sad experience.
Take some pictures.
Oh, we're going?
Thank you, the boss and sunshine. I'm the camera just turned.
You're just spinning. Hey, go.
Thank you, the boss and sunshine. You have to be there once he's. Thank you, the boss and sunshine. I'm Sutton Young from. Thank you.
So Anna, you kind of have to talk a little loud, okay?
A little bit. Action. Excuse me.
I just wish it
Connor.
was. You don't have an idea.
Connor.
I have an idea. I wish it was.
Are you filming? Are you filming?
And this is us recording live from New York, and here comes Sutton Young with your...
I'm your son. Wait. Miss Collier has the activity.
Go.
Surrounding the ocean floor is very different rock, which deposited over 420,000 square miles. Land masses were increased, but quickly eroded away. But islands are still containing a lot of volcanic ash.
Something Krakatoa is
What
going...
is that? What is that? What word?
Angitic.
I'm going to teach you that word.
What's this word?
Enact.
We're recording right now, you know.
I just stopped it.
Anak Krakatoa is growing as we speak. As the Australian plane is pushed.
I'm manly shot.
Okay, this
We epically failed, okay?
Yeah.
Right as we got out there, first of all,
we were playing recorders on that rock. Now it's time to go. And we've been trying to do this forever. People were laughing. People were yelling.
There's Daisy. There's Daisy. There's Daisy. He's actually a boy.
Yeah. Oh, look here. This is our failed camera dude.
I'm just a boss. Y'all need to know that. I'm a boss in disguise.
That's no boss. Just give it up, Kyle.